Hello, 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 and welcome to the
table.
I think your drumming skills are improving day by day. I'm glad. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. And as you can see, we have a new table. Better than the one before, right?
Yeah, I actually really like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. But it'd be really awkward if everyone's like, no, we prefer the old one.
Then we have to go back to the old one. All right, so thank you for joining us again on your, I can boldly say this is your favorite program on Love TV.
It is.
Because it's the most intriguing program that we have. Some people may disagree, but it's fine, doesn't matter. Well, before we go into the topic today, let me introduce you to our panel. From my far right, we have
Alex.
Aishiverano.
And I am Jeremiah, and then who are you?
Sarah.
All right, lovely. So today on the show, we will be talking about a special topic, but before we talk about it, we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So today we've got an interesting topic to discuss. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, so today's topic is single till I'm married. Now, where is the place of commitment when it comes to single till I'm married? You hear people saying that I'm single till I'm married, meaning that they may be in a courtship, in a relationship, but until they may even be engaged, but until they go down the aisle, say yes I do, and put a ring on the finger, they are still single. So, first and foremost, let's start from here. Do you guys agree with this concept? Do you think there's some wisdom in this? Also, obviously, looking at it from a Christian perspective. All right, what do you guys think? Where is the place of commitments in this approach? Anyone?
Ladies first.
I knew you were going to say that. I want you to start, but I think there's, okay, single until married, it is a fact. You're single until you're married. You know, that it is what it is. However, I get the point about the commitment.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes people use it as an excuse not to be committed. For me, I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship, you can decide whether or not you want to be committed. But if I was going to be in a relationship, then that means I'm committed to the person.
Right.
So I wouldn't, even though I'm single, if you ask me, am I single? I am single because I'm not married.
So if you are in a courtship or you're in a serious relationship,
I am single.
do you agree with?
Yeah, 100%.
I am single. I'm not married. However, if you do ask me, am I in a relationship, then my answer would be yes.
But then, so if you see yourself as single, then what is the place of commitment? Are you not committed to this person?
Oh, I am.
Have you
That's
not
why
made a
if you
decision already?
ask me if I'm in a relationship, then I'll say I'm in a relationship.
But what's the
Now,
difference?
I feel like the difference is it's a status. You're either single or you're married. If
Is it like?
I don't really think there is an in between.
Is it like signing a form where it says
Yeah,
single?
it
married?
is like signing a form, in my opinion. If you're single or you're married, there's no in between. I can't say, oh wait, I want to sign I'm in a relationship. There usually isn't that on the form, unless it's a weird form, I don't know. But like, it's usually single or married. So in terms of status, and I feel like there's a thing about people that are single acting like they're married. You're not married, you're single until you're married.
We shall come to that one soon.
Okay.
We'll come to that one very soon. Sarah, what do you think?
Personally, I agree with what you're saying.
So I'm by myself here today.
However,
That's a however.
However.
Praise the Lord.
however, I feel like if you are going to be in a relationship, because the purpose of being with somebody, being in a relationship, the end goal is to get married. So you can't just say, okay, I'm completely single. And also there has to be honesty. Do you know what I mean? Maybe in the spiritual realm, yeah, of course, you're single till you're married. However, we're in a world where we're not mind readers. Do you know what I mean? So if someone asks me, oh, are you still single? I'll be like, I'm in a relationship and I'm committed to that person.
But you say you're committed to the person. Does that mean that you don't entertain others or entertain the possibility of others?
I personally wouldn't entertain it.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
What if your situation, your relationship wasn't really what you felt like it should be?
And then leave the relationship.
Wait. See, now, this is the issue. This is where we come back to. You said if your situation is not as great as you want it to be, then they said then leave it. So that's what I'm saying. That's my question. Where is the place of commitment? What is commitment? you understand? When you're with someone, do you just, oh, I feel great today with this person. Everything seems so, so great. Because we're Christians, they love God, they like to pray. They have the look I like, they have the height that I like, they have the, the things achievements that I like and whatnot. I'm comfortable today. Tomorrow, there's someone else who seems to be a bit more exciting, or a bit more, I believe I'm a prophet. She's a prophetess. I think we got on great, all that stuff. So where is the place of commitment? Because to my understanding, I thought once I decide, okay, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, and we're working towards marriage, I've shut everybody else out. And my focus is solely on this person. So where is the place of commitment when we can just, we don't feel, so we now jump?
I think there's a difference between single and dating and single and in a relationship. I feel like there's a difference. So single and dating is
But must you attach the single too?
Because you're single now. Like, you're single, married, there's no, do you get?
Yeah, you're single.
You are single. Like,
Okay.
if you say you're, okay, so if you meet someone, if it's an official thing and they're like, oh, are you married? And you're like, no, I'm single. You're not going to, you could be like, oh, I'm in a relationship, but that's not the question. Are you single?
Yeah, but when they say you're single, they're not asking, are you married? They're asking, are you available for the taking?
I feel like we need to be more specific.
That's what people mean when they ask, are you single?
Well, it depends on who's asking.
If somebody, unless the form, for example, now you're talking about filling forms.
Yeah, I am talking
they
about forms.
specifically put two options, single, married. So that one is clear what they mean. But when somebody approaches you and say, are you single? If you say,
you're talking about a potential mate.
No, anyone.
Not even just friend,
anyone asking you, are you single? And then you say, no, I'm not single.
I would say I'm single until I'm married.
In their mind,
that's my response.
They might be thinking, okay, so cousin Johnny might be a great suitor for you then, because like you just said, you're available. You're.
I didn't say I was available.
Yeah, but that's what you mean when you say you're
single
in that situation.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to that line of questioning,
right,
you have three options then, isn't it? Are you single, relationship, or married? Because that's what the answer is I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
You get it? So I'd answer and say I'm in a relationship.
Right. But that's not single, because if you just say, yes, I'm single, then that
you are still single. Because we're
you
looking
are
at
still
the
thank you.
The standpoint we're looking at
okay, all right. So let's bring it. Okay, sorry, finish. Sorry.
Yeah, the standpoint we're looking at it from is from the standpoint of God, isn't it?
Yes.
And before God, it's either one or the other.
Right.
He doesn't recognize the boyfriend and girlfriend.
How about fiancé, courtship? What
Still
does
don't
that?
recognize that.
You're not married.
God doesn't recognize courtship.
Still don't recognize it. There's no.
If you're engaged to someone, God doesn't recognize it.
Yeah, no. You think about it. Similar thing. I think.
Let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the Bible. Let's use the birth of Jesus as an example.
He mentioned it, but at that moment in time, Joseph was still able to make a decision. In his mind, he was thinking about whether to stay or whether to leave, wasn't he?
But it was important. But there was a commitment there. Obviously, he can still decide whether to go ahead with it or not. But there was still a level of commitment, which meant that Joseph is not looking at any other person. And if he wanted to change that decision, he had to. They had to be able to review it and come to a conclusion that because of X, Y, Z reason, it is conclusive enough for Joseph, to justify him to not marry Mary.
Yeah.
So it was a serious thing. And in that culture, they were betrothed to each other from their childhood. It wasn't like he just grew up and saw me and said, yo, Mary, I like you. I want to marry you.
Yeah.
Right.
From when they were young, they were being trained to marry each other. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that when you then make such a commitment, whether it is by your choice or tradition or whatever, with what seriousness do we take it? And what is the extent of that commitment? What does that mean? Like, what is the extent of it? What do you allow, disallow? What do you do? What do you not do? Because there are also people on the other side who believe that as long as I'm with this person, I'm married. Do you understand? And then they start living as husband and wife. Do you understand? And you have those who also believe that, okay, if I'm in this situation, I'm still free. I'm still able to look around, consider other people. If, Brother John comes and Brother John is flexing and I like his flex, I like his vibe, it's a vibe thing. Do you understand?
Right.
So let me give him attention and whatnot. Whereas, is that really proper? So what's the extent?
But then that's where the communication and the honesty comes in. Like, for example, if I was with someone, you have that discussion. Like, okay, when it feels like, okay, I feel like I'm getting serious, I'll have that conversation. Like, I really do like you and I really want to be committed, and you have that discussion with that person.
So after
because maybe he won't feel the same way, and it's kind of maybe feeling okay, maybe we should part ways, because we're not on the same. Because the Bible says, "How can two walk together unless they be agreed?"
Okay.
If we're not on the same page, then
Okay.
it won't work. So it's having that communication and that.
So let me ask you.
honesty with
Let
that
me ask you a question. You, Sarah, if you are in a so-called relationship,
Right.
courtship.
Yeah.
Because Christians, we don't date with courts, have you? That's what they say.
So that's what you don't agree.
I mean, that's what's. Anyway, so you're in a courtship with someone now. You being aware that you are in a courtship willingly, is that not you willingly agreeing to have a certain level of commitment to that person already? So you've already passed that stage of, do we like each other? I like you, I like you. Like by the time you get there, you already know that this is the person that I'm hoping to get married to and I'm working on getting married to.
Yeah.
So at that point, what is the level of commitment that you have towards this person?
Yeah, that's why you have the discussion to talk about it.
So-
to talk about the level.
So
of,
after you've gotten into a courtship, you now discuss the level of commitment
yeah,
you have
because
to
even when you get into a courtship, maybe for example, I get into a courtship with someone with the intention to get married.
Yes.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, all right, let's get married tomorrow.
Well,
Do
nobody's
you know what I
saying
mean?
that.
No, but you have that discussion like, okay, do we feel ready to get married now, or do you want to wait?
No. That's
And,
what I'm talking about. Your
like, do you have any
in the
second
process between deciding to court and getting married.
Right.
If you do get married, what is the level of commitment that you have towards each other?
I think it's more like a personal question. So I think if you know me as a person,
But as a Christian, what should be our level of commitment?
I would say unless something drastic happens,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't think
that
there's
would
set-
What's
break
drastic?
the
No,
like
that's drastic.
like I don't
What's
know,
drastic?
like
you know what?
they
We have-
cheat on you,
No.
they no longer believe in God. Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
You
So
know
that's
what
what
I
I mean by drastic.
Yeah, that's what I mean by drastic. That's a commitment, no?
Listen, I think it's about your intention.
Or deal breakers. So,
Yeah, I think
No.
it's about your intentions.
I hear all this intention and personal stuff. I hear that. I hear you. I hear you perfectly well. But my point
Doesn't
is,
without me speaking.
as no,
You're
it's not
saying,
intention.
what is the level? But there's
Yeah.
not exactly a set.
But as
like-
Christians, there should be some sort of an idea as to how seriously we should take these things and
Yes.
how we should, do you get it? Like how our mind should be set when it comes to relationships and courting and marriage and this kind of stuff. So I'm saying that from a Christian point of view, how should it be like? What do you think?
I think
Should you move in the house and start cooking for the brother?
Oh heck no.
my opinions are a tad bit controversial. I think.
Yes, please
Speak
do speak
now.
freely. This is the table.
But I think it's about intentions.
That's
This sounds like the censored version.
I intend, right, to, marry you, and I let it be known that listen, I want to get married to you,
Right.
Right.
so on and so forth. But if over the period of time before the marriage, I decide otherwise,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a
I
choice.
don't like.
So if you
I
change
don't
your
like
mind, you
that
change
thought
your
of
mind.
holding somebody down. Like, if the person has changed their mind, are you stating that because they've now changed their mind, they have this occasion, so rather they have the opportunity to at this moment? It's during marriage, right? Once you've signed the documents, that's when there's no going back.
Yeah.
But before that time, he has the option, or rather, she has the option to
go back.
change their
Yeah.
mind.
As Christians, is there not like a precedence already set, right? In the sense of, by the time you move into this kind of label, how serious should you take it? Do you get what I'm saying? And even obviously, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Do you know what I'm
As
saying?
in there.
But first, should you fight for it, if anything? And why is it not working? And because you have a lot of people. Today, they're introducing someone to their pastor.
Oh right, okay.
Tomorrow, they're introducing someone else to their pastor. The day after, they're introducing someone else to their pastor or their
Let them
parents.
introduce.
Do you know-
No,
But with such a person, would you take that person seriously? Don't you think there's something wrong?
Who am I? Am I
No,
the pastor?
No. But when some anyway, on that note, we're taking a short break because I think we need to strain a few things out. You should just wake up one morning and say, "No,
Yes.
I
it's
feel
not
different
like,
today."
but that's the thing. You're
let me
thinking
go.
if we wake up one morning, it's no, but maybe it's
Yeah,
for
but-
example, if something happens.
Okay,
like,
so what I'm saying is that, like,
Nothing needs to happen.
you can walk away.
You decide
You
that you
can.
decide.
Is that what Alex said?
Like-
If you're married, then yeah, there's no going back. But
A failed relationship is better than a failed marriage. You know?
100%.
So,
Let
okay.
the relationship fail, who cares?
Okay, guys, we're back. And yes, it's been an interesting conversation so far. And we're about to take it a bit higher. Okay, so we are talking about single till I'm married. Your level of commitment in a relationship, courtship, engaged, fiance. What's the word for it?
Yep, I don't know what you're referring to.
Engaged, fiance, all that
Fiance.
Yeah, what do you call it?
I don't know.
Ah, don't know.
We don't know what it's called. We don't know what it's called, but if you're engaged, betrothed,
Oh, yeah.
whatever the word is. So, what level of commitment should you give in that kind of situation? How seriously should you? What should you do? What should you not do? And then we spoke about. You said if the person is ready to leave, they should leave.
Yeah, 100%.
So, is it something that you should just leave from?
Yes. Get up and go.
Sorry.
yeah, I agree. If you're not married, yeah, I feel like you
You should
can walk
just
away.
wake up one morning and say, "No,
Yes.
I
It's
feel
not
different
like,
today."
but that's the thing.
Yes,
You're
let me
thinking
go.
if we wake up one
You know.
morning, but it's maybe it's
Yeah,
for
but-
example, if something happens,
Okay.
like,
So what I'm saying is that, like,
Nothing needs to happen.
yeah, you can walk
You
away.
decide
You
that
can.
you decide.
Is that what Alex said?
Like-
If you're married, then yeah, there's no going
Yeah,
back. But
100%. A failed relationship is better than a failed marriage. You know?
That's
100%.
so
Let the
okay.
relationship fail, who cares?
No. That's 100% correct.
It's the truth. I've seen it happen way too many times whereby people have got into
Right.
situations and had to leave marriage.
Okay.
You know, whereas you've seen signs from the
signs.
get-go.
Okay.
You know, you
true.
knew, hoping,
Right.
anticipating the person was going to change.
Mhm.
You know, leave, get that go. Nobody can hold you.
Okay.
Disappear. Even if I've seen they booked a wedding day.
Right.
They booked a wedding day. They were going to get married, and the guy decided he didn't want any more. Well done.
He just decided.
Just decided he didn't want any more.
But does his reasons, like, does it not matter? That doesn't have to be something that is justifiable.
Who's going to hold him accountable? God to that. There's no
Well, yes,
justifiable.
because you wasted somebody's time. You
'Cause
made
you
somebody.
wasted-
You made somebody believe that you were going to marry them, and they've made up their mind that this is it, and then they are on the way there. Then you suddenly, for no good enough reason, decide that that's a child of God. God
yeah,
cares
but
about that
okay,
person.
Yeah,
I
but
don't get it. So what I'm trying to understand is what. So you've decided,
Yeah.
for your own reasons,
Yes.
yeah, that
But
you,
what I'm
you
saying,
no longer want to continue.
Go on. Yes.
Okay, you no longer want to continue that relationship.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I don't understand. So because of that,
Yes.
God will hold you accountable.
Okay. So
I don't understand.
what is it that is justifying it? How serious?
My decision is
How
what's justifying it.
yes? How
We have free
serious
will.
is like? No, we have free will, but
Yeah.
we are also we have to
Accountable.
Be held, yes, we
then
can't
it's
just
better
we
off
can't just
leaving
be.
the person than staying with the
Yeah.
person.
I
And then
hear
you're
that.
both unhappy.
I hear that, but the thing is, how drastic must a situation be for you to get that far and draw back? And don't forget, we are not worldly people. We are Christians. We don't just go into relationships or courtships or get engaged. Do you understand? We like these things are serious. We take it quite seriously. By the time it's different from I'm getting to know someone. That's different.
Yeah.
I'm getting to know someone. That's different. Like okay, oh yeah, okay. In getting to know, I decide okay, yeah, I'm in or I'm out.
Yeah, that's
But once, okay, yeah, you're the one, or you get it. Let's. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Let's get married. So we will get now. And one day I just wake up and like, I'm over it. And I've made a person believe that this is where we're going to. Don't you think that if God cares about a person, there is an issue there somehow?
issue. Like as in, what should God do? Punish me?
No, it's not like God punishing you. It's not like if you go and steal today, or if you go and commit murder today, like is God going to punish you? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but what I'm trying to say is, okay, go on. Let's hear
The
you.
situation you just raised now. What if God has highlighted this one you should not do, this one you should not do? Up until that point, I have free will. You understand? So you can't infringe upon my will.
But is that not something that exposes something about your character
It
as
can
a person?
It can expose what it likes to whoever it likes to expose.
You know how the Bible says that Reuben was like water; he was very unstable in his
Unstable in
ways.
his ways,
Is that not
But
then?
if I now went into marriage
Yes.
with that person, and then came out for another reason.
But
you not
I
say-
would
No,
rather
but
you
what we
leave
said,
before.
you know,
Leave
Nah,
now.
that's not
Like,
fair.
I'd rather you leave before.
I
I'm
agree.
a fool.
No. I agree with you. But what I'm trying to say is that how drastic must the situation be, or
I think
what the reason is?
I get your point.
Like, you can't just wake up and say, like, is there an issue?
Mm-hmm.
How serious is the issue? How detrimental is it? And what have you done about it, trying to resolve it? Because if we just take it with such ease, like, oh, just sit down, just get up whenever you feel like.
So what you're
then
trying to
that's a bit
say
of
is,
an issue,
what you're trying to say is that, okay, if something, like, say for example, I woke up and said, okay,
yeah, I'm
I don't
saying
want-
where is the place
but
of
yeah,
commitment?
so
and the
yeah,
things you
and then
do
are
when
you
you're
also
committed?
trying to say
Yes.
as well, like, okay, maybe if I shouldn't just
Wake
walk away.
up and
I
just-
should evaluate why do I feel this way, and is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
I should
because
work it out before I walk away.
Because you don't just leave your job. Do you understand?
Some people do.
Some people do, but then they suffer for it if they don't have something else in
Not all the
place.
time.
Not necessarily.
Well-
no. I know someone that does it consistently
Yeah.
and still gets new jobs.
Exactly.
I'm just saying he consistently does this. Now,
And he
do I
keeps moving.
agree with the way he does
Yes.
it? No.
Why don't you
But does
agree
he
with it?
No, I'm just not that kind of person. I would. It's the same way with what you're
If that-
saying. I would evaluate. Think about, what exactly is going on at my place of work or in the relationship.
Right.
Like I said, if it's something drastic or if they're deal breakers. So, for example, you tried to hit me, you move closer to even thinking of hitting me, I'm out. You cheat. But those are, for me, those are like serious issues and I will be out.
Understand?
That doesn't mean
What
like
about
I'm
in a
going to wake
marriage?
up.
If someone tried to hit you in a marriage, would you be out?
That's a very important question. Is,
Let's not
Just
even
say-
talk about it. Let's not
would
talk
you
about
just
it.
leave?
Let's not talk about it.
That's a conversation for
Because
another day.
that's a conversation for another day.
Conversation for another
The
day.
word says what the word says, so yeah.
What are the words?
Don't go into it. I'm resting today, please. Leave my not today.
It's a topic for another day.
Not today, not today.
All right, cool. So, okay, that's fine. I hear all that you guys are saying.
Mm.
Obviously, makes sense. You shouldn't. I think the dating and the getting to know someone is even the courting stage is a period to get to know someone.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, you can never get to know somebody so well because as people we evolve, we grow,
Mm-hmm.
we change every time as well.
Yeah.
So you may know me today, tomorrow I may have gone forward.
Yeah.
Or I could have been backwards a bit. You get it based on the things I'm exposed to. So definitely, it is the moment to get to really understand someone and know that okay, if this is a situation that you can be in the future for the rest of your life or not, and in doing so, but I think what this question really was about was mainly talking about how much or how committed should you be to that person. Like I mentioned before, some people believe as long as they have said I want to marry this person, that's it. Some even move into their houses, or some have joint bank accounts.
Okay, no.
Some have they have business in common that they're doing, like a whole bunch of stuff, and it may end well. For some, it may not
end in
well.
tears.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is somebody's idea of how committed they should be. Now, so the question really was like, how do we then draw the line? Because should we be committed in that situation? 100% yes, right? Because when you make a decision like that, it is a person of good character. You're supposed to stick with it. The Bible says that anybody who puts his hand, who fails in the day of adversity, his strength is weak. You understand? So you don't put your hand on the plow and remove it.
But-
right.
So that's God's attitude towards commitment.
So I put my hand to the plow. I'm just trying to, I put my hand to the plow. I said to myself, okay,
Is this
is
plow
what
worth
I'm
plowing?
This is what I'm going. But the plow is paining my hand. I shouldn't take off.
Why
No,
is-
you don't say.
I guess his point
So-
is why is the
Yeah, so let's say
why
for
is your
example,
hand paining you?
Okay, let's say for example, you,
No, some people, the hand is not paining it. It's just the fact that
They want a new thing.
you understand? This one, the land they want to plow. This one land that they feel like plowing, so they actually move their hand.
I can't.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I might be saying it, nonchalantly, but in the same vein, I do believe people are going to do what they want to do, and you're going to have to let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
No, they will.
regardless
They
of-
will.
of how they feel, regardless of how you feel.
Oh no, they will. But that's
So
why.
the question was, why was your hand removed from the plow? I think.
Well, there could be many reasons. Maybe the way she talks. Maybe
You just woke up one day and it just annoyed you. You're like, no, it's a
just
valid
woke up.
point.
and you think that's an
And
well?
you just know that this is going to be an issue later on.
Yeah, but there's, you
Because
see,
sometimes you haven't
Deal
seen,
breakers.
Exactly, you haven't seen people
Yeah,
every
yeah.
kind of situation. or
That's what I said.
circumstance.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
can't
you
get
get
know
to
some-
see her
yeah.
in front of her friends, and you're like,
Right.
who is this?
Yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
you know,
Who are you?
yeah, exactly. You take off the wig, and you're like, okay, who is this?
Wow.
I'm joking about that one, but in the same vein,
Oh, Lord
I do
Jesus.
mean like anyone's allowed to do what they want to do up until
Yeah.
the stage of marriage.
Yeah. And I think as
I
well,
believe.
right, with me personally, I feel like even like dating and courting as Christians, it's not. It's like it's not. It's like
It's not spiritual.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
no.
I
I
hear
just
you.
feel like no one knows how to go by it. Everyone's just kind of giving advice
I hear
and like you know follow this YouTube video,
Yeah,
follow that.
I hear
There's
you.
not because obviously the
Okay.
Bible there's not like a written handbook. God is like equally yoked as long as they're born again. But when it comes to the whole thing,
So
like
can you marry anyone that's born again?
pardon.
Can you marry anyone that's born again?
No. But,
Okay.
no, but then but
So-
the whole time I feel like not many people are informed. I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
not enough. Maybe maybe there should be like there's not even in when you go to like single seminars they don't necessarily talk about
Go
the dating
into it,
process. They
yeah.
kind of talk about learn to love yourself, serve God, and you know
agree.
somehow a husband will fall from the
Okay.
sky. Like, but it's not like that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like
Do you
people
know-
need to be more informed and educated on how to go about the
That's-
educating process.
That's a very
to date
valid
as a-
point, actually.
It's very valid, but it's very valid. So here's where we're trying to get to.
Okay.
What she's saying. Is there a way to know how we should conduct ourselves in relationships and in marriages according to scriptures? I think so.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because and it's beyond just the Bible shows us. The Bible it's not a rule book. No, thou shalt not do this in a courtship. Thou shalt do this in a relationship.
Yeah.
The Bible's not like that. But we get to understand God's mind and attitude towards certain behaviors and certain characteristics
Yeah.
through the scriptures, and then we get to know that as a Christian, how we should behave in certain situations.
Yeah.
It's the same for everything, whether it is work, whether it is marriage, courtship, wherever that you are. You get what I'm saying? So that's why like we're talking about commitment. What is God's attitude towards commitment? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should we just step into something serious and just leave it? If we do, are there repercussions? He said no. I know he's going to say no again. Yeah, but what is the mind of God concerning that character? You know, that's what I mentioned. Like Reuben, he said he's unstable because continuously stepping into there's a difference between I'm getting to know Sarah and there's a difference between I'm courting Sarah. That's a very serious thing to say. That is the point where I'm now going to meet her pastor. I probably met her family. For me to just walk away, it means that the matter must be serious. It cannot just be, oh, I just felt like it. Yes, people do it, but is it right?
I don't know. Who am I to say it's wrong?
Yeah.
What does the Bible? What is God's mind towards it?
Yeah,
Do you
because-
think, according to God's mind, is right?
Because if now you tell the guy, he comes and says he wants to leave, and you come and tell him, no, stay.
No.
In fact, I
Okay.
had a situation like this
Right.
the other day. They said the guy didn't want to marry the lady, and eventually, the lady, I think they got convinced to marry her, and he married her.
Why did he have to be convinced to
Because
marry?
he had already gone into they had already gone to the point of they said they were going to get married.
And he couldn't take anymore.
He said he didn't want any more.
Why? They
Right.
didn't give reasons why.
I don't know how would I know.
I mean, you know,
Let me tell you the story from the angle it told me. All right, because we had a serious discussion about this.
Right.
Okay. All right. And then he married the lady. Right. She was living in a different country.
right.
Okay. To him, during that period of time, he was indulging in another relationship with another woman. He came now after a few years. He came now and said, "You know what? I don't want anymore. I have somebody else I want to marry."
So he deceived the person then.
Possibly.
That was deception.
But at the same time, he told you he didn't want in the beginning. You should
Oh,
have
he
heard
told
him.
her and she
Yeah,
pursued it.
You should have told. You should have heard him.
He told
think-
her and then she
Yeah. No.
insisted.
In fact,
that.
Yeah, but
Man, I
also
think
he
it was
should
a-
have
it was a
been
pastor
man
that
enough
told
to
him to do
stand up and decide, you know
Agreed,
what,
I agree with him. I agree.
step back.
That's just down to
Like
bad
if you
character.
know you're not,
That's
if you
bad
know you're
character.
not
That's
going
it.
to,
It
you
is
don't
bad
want to marry
character.
the
Yeah.
person. Don't do it.
Listen,
Yeah.
it is bad
Like you
character,
know
but-
yourself enough.
Yeah, so don't waste
Yeah.
someone's time
That's not-
intentionally knowing
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
you're not into it.
Listen, it is bad character.
But then
But the deed
there's
is
also
done.
pressure
No,
as
the
well.
deed is done, but
see.
that's the thing. Should people be behaving
Doing-
like that? Do you understand what I'm
They
saying?
Yeah.
shouldn't behave like that. But
Yeah,
at the same
that's it.
time,
That's what we're saying.
If he's told you and let you know, I think once you've said it once,
Right.
you should listen, especially with men.
Don't
Once you've
ever
said it,
let
you should
a man
listen to
tell
it.
you twice he does not
Yeah.
want you.
You should
Just
listen.
saying.
I mean,
Just saying.
I agree with that.
I guess that goes for the ladies, the parents, and the pastors who insist on people helping people choose who they should marry, especially when they've made it clear that they don't have that kind of interest. Because one day, if the person doesn't have an interest and they meet someone that they have the interest in, things will change very quickly, and then it can be a very dangerous situation for them to be in.
100%.
For both parties and whatnot. So if you're watching and you're encouraging such things, please be mindful.
Also, and don't let anyone pressure you to get married to someone you don't want to get married to.
Right.
Don't ever let anyone pressure you, because you're going to be the one in that marriage. You're going to deal with it by yourself. Yes, they can support you, but they're not your partner. So don't ever let anyone pressure you, because you end up, needing a divorce lawyer, and that's just not cool.
Can they not make it work?
They could. But if it doesn't work, what happens?
Because
they're going to be unhappy,
Well, does
and
it
then
just
they
not
end up
work,
coming.
or does it
No,
not
but
just
it
work, or do
doesn't
people
just
let
not
it
work. No, people try. Like, if you're already married, most people are like, we're here. Let's try and make this work. And then it doesn't. So I'm just like, don't let anyone pressure you to the point where you actually go ahead with it. If you know you don't want to do it, don't do it. Run ASAP before you get married. No. Run.
Before you make any commitment.
What, it depends on the commitment.
As soon as you know.
It depends
You
on the level.
literally said people evolve and change.
No, people
I
do.
think as soon, my point is, as soon as you know you don't want to marry the person.
From the beginning, like based on what they're saying, that the person knew from the beginning that this is not for me.
So out.
So why would you go and make that kind of commitment knowing that this thing is not going to go anywhere?
Yeah, so from the beginning, if you know you don't want to marry this person, don't waste their time. Or be very clear and know exactly what you're doing. As Christians, what's the point? I'm just saying. And also, if you change your mind, please tell the person, let the person bounce. Please, I don't like all this long thing. Just say what it is. Let the girl bounce or the guy bounce.
Wasted
please.
time. And if you're in that situation and the guy has wasted your time, God will restore unto you.
No, facts. And don't stay with someone because you've been there for so long.
Yeah.
If it's not working and there are deal breakers, because I hear people say things like, "Oh, we've been together for 14 years, blah blah blah." I'm
Lord
like,
of the Rings. Are you Lord of the Rings? 14 years.
my point is, don't wait. Don't do it. Like, if you're going to be with someone for 14 years, once you know it's not going anywhere, deuces, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point. And even if you've been with someone for that long, that doesn't mean you can't meet someone else. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Move on.
See, this is anyway.
That's
thank
all I'm
you very
saying.
much, guys, for coming on the show today, and thank you for watching. Closing remarks. I think everybody has said something that is true. There's not particularly be anything that is wrong, even though something's questionable. I'm joking. But yeah, I think you can get different nuggets from what everybody has said. Being honest is very, very important.
100%.
Being honest with yourself and with people.
That's it, yeah.
Understanding not to waste people's time. People change and things change, and obviously people's mind change, or they realize that this is not going to work and whatnot. But a commitment is recognized by God. So if you make such a commitment, you have to stick. Well, not you have to stick with it, but you cannot just leave it with so much ease. You understand? You have to try to make it work, and the reason has to be important, because as Christians, when I commit to another Christian like that, that's somebody that Jesus died for. God cares about this person. When they go to God in prayer with tears because of you, that thing is dangerous. You understand?
I never thought of it like that.
I don't want to be that person. Do you understand? That caused a child of God to go to God in prayer with tears, in pain.
But once again, if the person, if it was a sincere decision,
that is also
you
there.
can't be saying, you can't be telling me that God is going to attack.
Oh no! It's not about attacking
Yeah.
God. No, it's not about attacking. It's dangerous. Yes, but sometimes you have sincere situations that happen like that. It happens.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's just for both parties to be able to have a conversation and be honest about it. One person may be hurt more than the other one, or they may be equally hurt, because sometimes you really want the thing to work, but these obstacles are in the way, and you realize that going forward, these boundaries will become an issue. So it can be addressed properly. Obviously, there's accountability. That's why you're told to talk to your pastors when you get into such situations, because then there are people to be accountable to.
Yes.
So somebody can just say, "Oh, that's it." There are conversations that will be had, questions, just to make sure that if it's possible at all to make this thing work, the effort will be put in. And there are people there that are making sure that the thing, whatever that it takes, until they get to the point where they realize that, okay,
This is not working.
this is not going to go anywhere. But the point is, we should go into these things with a level of seriousness.
Yeah.
And when we do everything to make it work. All right?
And if
And
it
we
doesn't work,
Bounce.
we move on.
They said it, not me.
If it doesn't work, we move on.
It's true, you do move on.
We move on.
Regardless. You can't
They
be
said
A
it.
failed relationship is better than a failed marriage.
Yeah.
I don't want to agree, but I agree. But it's okay. Until next time, guys.
The truth is the truth.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and we'll be back next week with more fire episodes. All right, like you enjoy this. So thank you for joining us, and stay tuned to Love Watch UK. Bye bye.
Bye.